Hello and welcome to the most must-hear podcast in the world of rock. Join hosts Charlotte, Joe and Max as they run down the latest news and their favorite bands. Ladies and gentlemen, the Overtone Podcast.
Okay, so this week on the Overtone Podcast, we're doing things a little bit differently. We have our first ever guest star. We've got Kim Jennett here with us. For starters, how are you doing? You've been up to so much lately. Like, I keep watching your Instagram reels. Like,
oh, dude, I've been supercharged at the minute with with everything. I've just been trying to keep busy as much as possible and do as many things as I can and kind of get my name out there. So, yeah, I've been super busy. For the past 2 years or so, I've been traveling, sort of around America and Europe and things. So when I came back, I was like, I really need to kind of make up for the past 2 years and just do as much as I possibly can. But I've been loving it. I've been really loving it. Doing lots of reels, doing lots of gigs with Revival Black, which has been fun, and doing my own music and stuff as well. It's been ace. It's been nice to just be back on the scene, you know.
Oh yeah,
Really
definitely.
nice.
How did you touring with Revival Black come around? Because I think it was quite a shock for everyone when their frontman decided to go off and do his own thing. No, fair enough, everyone's entitled to do that. But I think it was a massive shock. So how did it come around for you to join them?
Oh, I mean, it was weird because, like, obviously, Dan's singing with Mike, and I used to sing with Mike.
Of course, yeah.
So it's been like a switcheroo, which has been weird. But like, literally, I came back from America because me and my boyfriend broke up with me. So I was like in a bit of a I wasn't in a great place when I came back. You know, I was like, this is rubbish. I'm back home now after being in America for 2 years. I need to kind of go and do some music. And literally I put it online like I'm gonna be back on stage again. I literally put a story up on my Instagram like from a few years ago, me performing on stage saying this is where I'm gonna be again, because even the whole time that I was in America I wasn't performing, so I felt like I was missing out on that. And then I put that story up, and literally that day that I put that up, they rang me like, hey, do you want to be in a band? So I kind of manifested it. It was really weird. It was really, really weird. It was like, I'm going to be doing this. And literally that day that I put that up, it all slotted into place. So it's kind of made me believe in that manifestation sort of stuff. You know, you say you're going to do something and you believe in it, and it kind of slots into place, which is nice. So.
Yeah, for sure. It's like the stars aligned for you. I know what you were going through is probably awful at the time, but, you know, I like to think everything happens for a reason. And if anything good was going to come out of you moving back to the UK, then here we are.
Yeah, it was. It sort of all lined up quite nicely when I got back, and they're brilliant lads. They're such a good laugh as well, you know. So it's been awesome to connect with the guys, and they're great musicians, and we've already played some amazing shows. So it's been really good fun, really good fun. We've done some cool stuff since I've been back already, which is always nice. Keep it busy, you know. So. Yeah, that was lovely. That was quite a good turn of events.
Do you think it will be a permanent thing with you and Revival Black? Because I know at the start, all the tall posters advertised as Revival Black plus Kim Jennett, like featuring Kim Jennett. Do you think there'll be a point where you take over permanently and therefore you'll just be known as Revival Black? Or are you, do you also want to concentrate on your other projects? Because obviously you've also got Voodoo Blood and, you know, your own performance as well.
I've been told that I'm not allowed to say yet.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah, I gotta keep it hush hush for now. So it could be, it's maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, I'm not allowed to say. Sorry, guys.
That's right.
I nearly said something in another, like I did an interview at a gig the other week, and I said something, and they were like, no, because the manager was there, and he was like, you're not allowed to say anything yet.
Cut that out quick.
Yeah, cut it. It's cool that you guys are doing these podcasts and stuff. I listened to a bit of the other one and I thought it was brilliant. I love listening to podcasts in general. So I've really been enjoying, the Justin Hawkins.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
it's not really a podcast, but I listen to it like a podcast because I like putting things on in the background and sort of
like his
doing
whole
my
reaction and all that kind of stuff.
yeah
Yeah, they have been good.
Yeah, they've been brilliant. So I proper like, I'm sure I've got some sort of undiagnosed ADHD because I can't do anything without some sort of stimulation going on. So I like to stick on a podcast and kind of get on with my washing or my tidying, or I actually can't do it. Can't be stuck with my own thoughts. So yeah, this is cool. It's really cool to be here.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. So a big important question now. What are you currently listening to right now? Any bands that immediately spring to mind, or?
So I thought that you might have asked this, so I got my Spotify ready because I'm really bad. I'm really bad at remembering. Honestly, like someone asked me this. I went out the other day and someone was like, "So what kind of music do you like?" And my phone had died, and I was like, I can't even remember what I'm listening to right now. And I listen to music a lot. So okay, here we go. I've got a playlist that I've made of tunes that I've been listening to in the winter of 2022. So in this past couple of months, and it's a very odd mix of things, to be honest. So the first one that pops up is the new Paramore stuff. This is why. It's so cool that they're back because they were like they were my childhood bands. And I mean throughout everything really because they've kept going. So it's good that they're back, and it's very 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 different to their old sort of stuff, which is great because they've evolved and kind of gone in this different direction, which I love. It's a lot like Hayley Williams's her solo stuff. It reminds me of that a lot.
Yeah.
Which is great. Have you guys heard it?
I think I've heard a couple of tracks or two. Yeah.
So it's very cool. What else have I been listening to? Gosh, I've been listening to Oliver Tree as well. Who's like a pop artist. He's very weird. He's got a very weird kind of sense of style and stuff, which kind of attracted me to his music in the first place. He's very like experimental with his style. But "Miss You" by Oliver Tree, such a banger. It's such a good song. It's very much like a breakup anthem, so it's probably why I've been listening to it a lot at the minute. Gosh, and then a band actually that I'm gonna go see in March called The Midnight, which are kind of like a synth wavy nostalgia vibes. They're really cool. I don't think they're that well known. I went to see them a few years back, and the venue wasn't that big. It was in Manchester. Where they're from, but they're brilliant. And they've just released a new album, so we actually pre-ordered the CD for that, me and my family, which I haven't done for a very long time. But because we like them so much, we thought we'd get the CD and actually listen to it properly in the car and listen to the full thing rather than just sticking on tracks now and again.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's definitely like a journey with their music. It's like a nostalgic journey. They're absolutely brilliant. So you got to listen to the full thing. And yeah, they're excellent. We're gonna go see them in March. What else? Gosh, I've been listening to so much music at the minute because I just pop it on when I'm traveling to band practice and stuff, get myself pumped up. So it's kind of a lot of pop music. Death by Rummy, absolutely brilliant. What else? Zand. If you've heard of Zand, they are amazing. Really, really different sort of badass pop music. And they've just done a song with Banshee, called Killer Predators, and it's very much like I don't even know the word for what kind of music it is. It's like they're non-binary, so it's very much kind of FU music to all of the people that have wronged them in the past and stuff like that. So it's very angry pop. It's so cool. It's badass as hell. Also, what else have we got that's like that on here? I've got loads of stuff like that at the minute that's angry. lots of angry vibe. Cassiette's kind of that
Oh
sort
yeah,
of vibe. Cassiette's awesome.
yeah.
And then I went my friends in a band called have you heard of Wargasm?
Oh yeah.
So I went to see them in Manchester a few weeks ago, and they were incredible.
Yeah, I have heard they're good live.
Oh, it was insane. It was like completely sold out, packed to the brim, super sweaty in there. You know, everyone crowd surfing, stage diving. It was really, really cool. And my friend is in that band, so I was like, I'll come down and support. And
Yeah.
I was like, this is mind blowing, and I've not been able to stop listening to them since. They've got, what's the song that I really like? Salma Hayek. That's my
Oh,
favorite one by then. That's super cool. And Scene Queen supported them. Have you heard of Scene Queen?
The name rings a bell, yeah.
It's very, very different. So it's like really heavy metal music, but she sings about like Barbie dolls and girly things in like a really girly American accent. So it's super different. It's really, really cool. She kind of blew up on TikTok a few months ago. And then she's just gone off. It's just kind of blown up her career. And she's absolutely killing it right now. So she supported. It was really cool to see Scene Queen as well.
What are you like at a live gig? Like when you're not performing but you're in the crowd, what are you like?
So luckily I was side stage, so I think I'm too old to go in the pits and stuff now. I think I'd like hurt myself or something. So I was side of stage, which was nice. I kind of like, I don't know, I used to, when I was a lot younger, I used to go absolutely mental and crowd surf and stuff like that and like go mad, but now I'm getting a bit older. It's like I'd rather kind of stand to the back or stand to the side somewhere and have a glass of wine and just actually appreciate the musicianship. I really like watching, like, it sounds weird because I'm a vocalist, but I really enjoy watching the drummer. I guess it's because I don't really understand drums as well as I understand the rest of the instruments. So I always find it really interesting kind of watching what the drummer does, because I always feel like they could just slip up at any point and the whole thing just falls apart. So I think it's incredible how much kind of they're like the glue of the band. So I just find that really interesting watching what they do. And yeah, I just kind of like appreciating the music now rather than going wild. But I will have a few gins and a few wines and enjoy myself. But you know, I've not really, that was the Wargasm gig was kind of the last one that I've been to in a long time. I actually don't remember the last gig that I went to before that. It was probably the Midnight, the time before that I went to see them. Oh no, it was Machine Gun Kelly actually in America. That was an interesting one. We had okay seats, and the seats in front of us, the venue had messed up and they had loads of pyro and stuff and sets, and they said the sets block the view of these front seats, so we're going to clear them seats out and we'll give you another seat that you can see better. So we got a really, really good seat, which was nice. Their guitarist Sophie, she's absolutely fantastic. I don't know if you've heard of her. She's from England, and I think they sort of picked her up from watching her. From what I've heard, the drummer Rux just was watching her Instagram video. She did reels as well, of her playing guitar, and they found her through that. And now she's on tour with Machine Gun Kelly, and she's from little old England, which is
That's
cool.
pretty
So
cool.
I feel proud when I was watching it. I was like, oh, she's a she's a British lass. So but she was amazing. She kind of stole the show for me, really. Obviously it was a great show, but like I'm all for the girl power. That's the stuff that like hypes me up. So it was cool watching her. What about you guys? Have you guys been to any shows recently?
Yeah, I was just at Vicky Clara and Architects last night, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Brilliant.
both
Brilliant.
were incredible as well. I've seen Vicky a few times, and they were on top form again.
Excellent. And didn't Architects support?
Yeah, they were awesome as well. And it was quite nice to only have two bands as well, because I mean, Architects were on for, I want to say, about an hour, and then Biffy had a couple of hours, so it was nice to actually get a full set from both bands as well.
Yeah. I was contemplating going to that, but I didn't in the end. But I'm kind of jealous of you there. But that's brilliant.
I went to London a few weeks ago to watch The Pretty Reckless.
To see who?
The Pretty Reckless.
Oh, I love The Pretty Reckless.
It was so good, and I really felt for Taylor, because I was watching her social media like the day before, and she was really struggling with the cold. So she was like doing everything she could to power through. She was like exercising, looking after her voice, being super careful. And then she came out, and on stage she just smashed it as if she never had a cold in the first place. So that was incredible to watch.
Brilliant. I love The Pretty Reckless. I think she's such a badass. That's awesome. Was she struggling with a cold, or just with the cold of being in England?
Probably both. I mean, probably, yeah. It was a cold London night. It wasn't great. Whereabouts in England are you from?
So I always say Manchester, but I'm actually from Warrington, which is kind of halfway between Manchester and Liverpool. But I always just say Manchester because that's where I am mainly. But now I'm in Revival Black. They're all Liverpool based. And I'm kind of in Liverpool more than I'm in Manchester. So I'm like, I'm somewhere in the middle, somewhere between the two. But Liverpool's a great city as well. Been there a lot, practicing with the guys and stuff. And that's where I was born. So I do feel like it's a piece of home there as well.
Back at your roots and all that.
Where are you guys from?
We're from Derbyshire, so the East Midlands.
Oh, brilliant.
So just a lot of fields.
Yeah, not a lot of venues, unfortunately.
I was going to ask what the music scene's kind of like there. I'm sure we've probably played there, but we've played in so many places I can't remember.
Yeah, there's some
nice pockets of places around us.
Obviously, These Wicked Rivers did a hometown gig a couple of weeks ago for their album crowdfunder in Derby. So there's a couple of alright venues, and obviously Nottingham's not too far.
Yeah. Oh gosh, you know what? I was in Derby a few weeks back, recording, and it's the Hairy Dog. The the venue, the Hairy Dog. So the studio that I record in, with the God Hand Collective, Ben Gaines, he's an absolute recording wizard. His studio is right above the Hairy Dog. So we, I think it was is it Henge were playing in there? You know, the guys that do all the crazy stuff.
Yeah, that rings a bell, yeah. I think I saw the poster.
Yeah, they've got all mad, like, wizard outfits on and stuff. Like, it was really cool. They were playing when we were recording there, and I was like, I need to come down to here and watch some shows sometime, because it seems like a really cool place.
It is a good venue.
It's a nice little pocket to say, because I'm going to shit on my own hometown here, but Derby City Centre isn't that impressive.
No, not at all.
But the Hairy Dog and little pockets of places like that, there's just like little secret gems, and I don't think you know about them until you know about them. But that is a nice place. We went to watch the Derby Alt Festival in October, I think it was.
Oh, cool.
Last month before, at the Hairy Dog, and that was really cool. And that's a repeat annual festival. So if you're free in October, you should come down for 4 or 5 days of really cool. Like, they've got some big names, because they've also got a lot of local talent as well.
Yeah, I think Evil Scarecrow headlined it this year.
Yeah.
Oh,
the names
great.
that rung a bell as well. But yeah,
Yeah, I'll have
it
to
was good
pop
fun.
down to that. That'll be fun. I'm coming back to record with Ben soon at some point. I'm planning on it anyway, so I'm sure I'll be back there anyway very soon.
Hmm.
Um, I've been doing some like original stuff with him that's very, very, very different to sort of anything that I've ever done before. So I'm
Okay.
proper excited about that.
Hmm.
Ben's gone. I said to him, here are my influences. Here's what I'm listening to at the minute. It's all of this kind of quite techno mixed with metal, mixed with pop, mixed with a big mashup of anger.
Yeah.
And basically
All
like
my
the
favorite
stuff,
things.
all of the good stuff, you know. Kind of like a lot of the stuff I was talking to you about before, you know, orgasms and that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
And Kaisia, Nova Twins, and I was like, look, this is what I'm listening to. Here's a song that I've done, and kind of I recorded it in my bedroom, just sort of with guitars and stuff. And I was like, I want to take it into the studio. Let's transform it and make it into something that's super like different, super cool, super fun. And he's done an absolute stellar job of it. It's completely different, and it's so cool. I'm very excited about that. So
Nice.
I'm really looking forward
Yeah.
to it. I'm really looking forward to kind of doing some different sort of stuff. Like I obviously I love rock music and I love doing rock stuff and playing rock shows, but the stuff that I listen to a lot, I don't necessarily listen to a lot of rock, so it's cool to do something that
Hmm.
I would actually listen to and like on a daily basis. So it's yeah, that's cool. Ben's a top dude. Like he's it's very sort of experimental, and we were kind of sat there in the studio and you're going through different synth sounds and stuff, and I've never really done that before. I've always written on guitars and with a full band, so I'm quite excited about this one. I think it's going to be quite good.
Nice.
Yeah. Exciting stuff.
Yeah, awesome. And what do you think of the kind of place of women in the rock industry right now? I know obviously there's been a big buzz around Download's latest announcement at the start of the week, and the fact that they had so many kind of women on the poster, which is amazing.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
great. I'm loving it. There's so many badass women in rock at the minute. It's just a really cool time to be in this industry, you know. There's a lot of women that like really inspire me, that like I'm sort of friends with as well, you know, that we will message each other and pump each other up. Izzy, my friend Izzy, she's absolutely brilliant. Izzy Thomas, she messaged me a few months ago. I was just talking to her like, oh, you know, I've had a bad time with this breakup and stuff, and she was like, go and write some music, girl. Go and do it. And she was in LA, and she was like, I went through a breakup, and I went, you know what, sod it, I'm gonna write some music. And now I'm in LA playing a show at the Viper Room. So it's like anything can happen, and she really like inspired me to do that. Bumped into I always call her Kira Mack, but her name isn't Kira Mack. It's not Kira Mack, and I'm like, I'm just calling her Kira. But her name isn't Kira. I bumped into her, and the other week, obviously, she was on The Voice, and
of course, yeah.
you know, we both went through that and stuff, and it was just like she's absolutely killing it at the minute as well. Who else? There's so many people. You've got Lauren Tate as well with her new project, Delilah Bond. That's really cool. Very, very different to sort of the rock stuff, but you know, still on this kind of the scene, the upcoming scene. I mean, she's absolutely killing it now. Absolutely killing it. So it's a really exciting time for women in kind of the alternative scene. I think a lot of women are kind of getting I don't know if it's this next generation, but like they're listening to what these angry women have to say, and they're angry too, and it's sort of giving giving us more of a voice, which is really, really cool. You know, there's a lot of outspoken women that are kind of standing up for what they believe in, and that's super, super inspiring to me. And it's great to see, and it's great that people are listening to it now, you know?
Yeah,
People are
definitely.
really listening. And that's fantastic. And that's, you know, again, that's kind of inspired me to go out there and make some music like this as well. Kind of angry. I don't know if I can swear on this, but F you kind of music. You know? So it's cool. And, you know, it's really cool. Like, just to pop out, I went out the other night to see my mate Matt Jones play a gig. He does a gig every Thursday at Grand Central, and it's like there's loads of musicians there, and everyone knows each other, and everyone knows like other people that you know in the music industry. It's nice how kind of tight knit it is, and how exciting it is at the minute. I don't know if it's because COVID, everyone's kind of hungry for it right now, and angry at the world, and angry at the cost of living crisis, and everyone's just getting out there and making tons of exciting music. It's really, really cool to see, and it's really cool that sort of everyone, I mean, in my experience anyway, most people are sort of back each other up, you know, in the industry, because we all know how tough it is out there. So there's a lot of, you know, people that I'll speak to and get advice from, or I'll speak to some of my friends that are in the industry and give them advice. And it's just nice that kind of people have each other's back, you know, at the minute. That's what it feels like to me anyway. I've not experienced too much drama since I've been back, which is nice. Everyone's kind of in the same boat. So
like another little mini community that you're like take care of yourself and each other.
Yeah, and it definitely is like a mini community there. Like everyone I've kind of come across has been really like supportive. Obviously there's a few people, we won't mention any names, that you know, there's a bit of a rivalry there, but I also think that's kind of healthy to have that too. Have that sort of a bit of a rivalry with someone, you know. I also think that's healthy. As long as if you're not fighting with each other, then a bit of rivalry is good.
Yeah, exactly.
So speaking about the industry, what would you say is your favorite and least favorite thing about everything going on right now?
I mean, my favorite thing is obviously like the community, what I just talked about then, you know, everyone kind of having each other's back, and it's cool. My least favorite thing, gosh, oh my days, what a question. My least favorite thing about the music industry.
You can be as specific or vague as you like.
I think probably I don't know. I don't know if I answered that. I might get shunned and no one will want to work with me. So maybe I'll just say everything's fantastic.
Good plan.
Everyone's lovely. I don't want to work with everyone.
No, I can, from the outside, I can imagine that there's always been to be a few personalities, you know, some characters are louder than others, but it's just a case of figuring out who you work with best, maybe, and, you know, different people will have different ways of working.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's, you know, obviously I've had my fair share of bands and left my fair share of bands. But like if it's not working with someone, then that's fine, you know, move on and find people that you do work with. That's cool. But you know, I guess some people are easier to work with than others. Some people have different writing styles, recording styles, visions of what they want and stuff, and that's, you know, that's what happens in any industry, really.
Oh, definitely.
So it's just about finding those people that you click with, you know, and that you want to work with. But to be honest, at the minute, and I've been trying to do a lot of collabing and stuff and getting my name out there and chatting to different people. There's tons of people that I'd love to work with. And that's nice, you know. Everyone seems to be there just seems to be a lot of energy here at the minute. I don't know if it's because I've been in America where the energy's different, and it's great there as well, but because it's such a big place, there's not as much of a community. So I don't know if it's just that the energy's great, everyone's well up for it at the minute, or if it's just that I'm appreciating it more because I've been in a place where kind of everything's so far apart that there isn't that community spirit, you know? I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one it is. Maybe it's a combination of the two. But there's loads of people getting in touch with me at the minute, you know, do you want to work on this? Do you want to work on that? And I'm well up for it. I just want to do music, you know? I'm not in it to, I've never been in it to kind of reach any sort of specific goal. I've always just done it because I loved it and because I want to do it for a living and go as far with it as I possibly can and do it forever. That's the reason why I've always done this. So, you know, there's obviously going to be people in the industry that do take advantage and do kind of see the people that just want to do it because they love it and maybe not pay them. But, you know, as a community and working together can kind of overcome a lot of that. And it's nice. It's nice to have that here. Because it really isn't like that in America. It's very different in America. Everyone's in their own bubbles, their own tour bubbles, because everything's so far apart.
Yeah, I mean, I went traveling a couple of 3 years ago there. Now, kind of the Seattle area. And
oh, really?
Yeah.
That's where I was.
Oh, nice. And I even noticed that just for the like couple of weeks that I was there, I was staying with a few people who were in a band, and it's very much just if you're in that same sort of sound, that same sort of genre, and you've toured together, it'll be all quite nice and close and tightly knit. But outside of that, they don't really interact all that much. Whereas, yeah, even just the few festivals we've done, I've noticed that literally everyone will know everyone.
Yeah, it's so cool. It's so nice. And like, you know, I'll go to see other you know, gigs and stuff, and there'll be a load of people that I know there, and I'm like, oh, this is nice. Like, everyone's kind of mates outside of doing the music. People party together and drink together. Maybe that's a British thing as well. Maybe we just like to party more.
Definitely with the British culture. Any excuse for a pint.
Yeah. Maybe we're just a bit more fun. I don't know. They are fun in America, but they're definitely lightweights. We can drink here. We can really drink here.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
Awesome. So obviously last time I spoke to you at least, you just put out the last Voodoo Blood single.
Yes.
And what's it like performing as the Voodoo Woman compared to with, you know, whether it's your solo project or with Revival Black or all these other bands? I imagine it's different kind of prep beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of is. At the same time, it isn't, because any time I step onto that stage, I sort of go into that trance mode anyway. Even the guys in Revival Black said, when you go on that stage, you turn into a different person. They were like, we were trying to talk to you and say something on stage, and Ash, my drummer, he was just like, you just looked through me and had this kind of like wild look on your face, and he was like, yeah, it's not gonna happen. He was like, we're cutting a song, we're running over, and it was just like you were in another world. So I'd say that I'm playing a character when I'm the Voodoo Woman, but I kind of do that naturally anyway. Anytime I'm on stage, it's like I go into a different zone. It's weird. It's kind of similar in that way. I haven't actually performed live as the Voodoo Woman for a very, very long time, and I don't know if that's gonna happen again now. I have no idea where that's gonna go moving forward, to be honest. Obviously I'm kind of, I've been pretty busy with doing my own stuff with the new Kim Jennett stuff, and then with Revival Black. So I don't know. I don't know where that's gonna go moving forward, if it's gonna go anywhere. I'll revisit it at some point. I don't know. But I love doing it, and I love sort of the whole theatrical vibe of it, and the, you know, the mad outfits and the the mad character. I really enjoy doing that. I just think it's a lot of fun and a lot of creativity.
Mm.
My dad's done, and my mum did most of the artwork for the Voodoo Blood stuff. They're both artists.
Oh, no.
So it's really cool being able to like I see a lot of songs and music through kind of colors. I think it's called like synesthesia. I've only just really recently found out about that. But when I listen to a song, I'll be like, oh, I can visualize what color it is, which sounds really weird, but
No, I've heard that in psychology before.
yeah, I've only just recently found out about this, and then I look through the Voodoo Blood feed, and each song is a different color, and the feed goes from like purple to green to yellow to red, and I'm like, this makes sense. Like each song is a different color, but it's really cool being able to work with my parents then on the artwork, as they kind of get my vision, and I don't know how they do it, but they get in my head, and they always kind of create some amazing artwork for it. And I always think that with music, personally, the visuals are just as important as the audio. I really enjoy doing that side of stuff and the way things look. So it's cool to have parents that can turn that into a reality. Gosh, I've gone off on a tangent.
No, it was nice to hear.
Yeah, definitely.
You don't see that on your general social media, because obviously you've got you've got to market yourself. So it's nice to see Kim Jennett in a different light.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I just have fun with it, and I really have fun with the visual side of stuff. My favorite thing to do is music videos. I absolutely love doing music videos. They're so much fun. I love doing that last one for Voodoo Blood. But the guy that I work with, Sam Fenton, he's done most of my music videos, and he's absolutely brilliant. And he's just so, I'm very sort of hyperactive. Got loads of ideas, and he's very chilled out. Hey up, Chuck. No, we'll sort it out like this. And he's very well, like chalk and cheese, but we work really well together. And like that last music video was just so much fun to work with him on. Me and my mum went to like a skip looking for a TV. I wanted to have like a TV in the music video. I had to run into this skip and steal a TV and run out with it. I was like, Mum, drive! I've got it! Quick! I've got a TV! Quick! And then we got some chains and stuff from B&Q, and it was I love all of that side of it. I just find it really, really good fun to kind of create that vision from, obviously I fund everything myself, so I have my Patreon, which my fans can kind of support me through that, but then all of the income that I get from my music, I put back into my music. So it's kind of cool doing things on a budget, because you have to think about things a bit more creatively and think, okay, how can I do this without, breaking the bank? Which in my case was stealing a television from a skip.
Can we expect to see a music video with Revival Black, or does that borderline, go into territory of things that you can't talk to us about?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe I can't talk about that yet. We'll see.
I imagine you're possibly already thinking about the music videos for the more pop kind of synth stuff, though, that you're recording down here.
Yeah, I'm so excited to do a music video for this. It needs a killer video because it's a killer track. So what I usually do is I'll pop the song on in my headphones, and then I'll go for a long walk, or I will go to the gym, or I'll do something else, and I'll just listen to it on repeat. And then it's kind of like as I'm listening to it, the visuals will come to me, and I'll be like, okay, this is how I need to do it. It's just weird because I've always, like, I remember being a kid and listening to music in the car, and I'd think about like a music video happening in my head to this music, like Vangelis and stuff. My dad used to put a lot of instrumental music like that on, Joe Satriani, and I'd kind of think about the visuals in my brain. And it's quite cool that I can do that now. But actually turn it into a real video, because it's my own music. So yeah, I've got some interesting ideas for the next one, some fun stuff. I'm looking forward to doing it. It's actually I'm not sure what the actual name of the song is going to be yet. But it's about America, and it's about my time in America.
Oh, cool.
And sort of, you know, some of the stuff that I went through when I was there. So it'd be quite cool to do a very sort of British music video for it, you know, where I'm hanging around Warrington Town Centre, where it's you know, maybe not the most glamorous of places, but I think it would make for a really interesting music video. So we'll see.
Yeah, sounds good.
That'll be a fun one.
What was your first ever job then? Was it in music, or was it something, you know, small town local in Warrington?
My first ever job. I worked in McDonald's. That was my first ever job, and I think I think I lasted there for about 2 weeks. I hated it. I absolutely hate it. It was good because we got free McDonald's on the shifts. That was the only good part. But I remember I turned up. I was so young. I was so young. I turned up and I didn't understand. It was my first job. I didn't understand what it meant to work a job. So I thought, okay, I won't bring my phone because I might not be allowed that on the floor. And it was at a McDonald's in a service station. So it was very far away from my house. I had to get dropped off there by my mum.
Oh.
And I turned up and he said, "You've got the wrong shoes on. You're going to have to go home." And I was like, "But my mum's picking me up at 11. What am I going to do? I've not got a phone." And he just sent me outside. And I sat outside and I didn't want to go in and wait because I was too embarrassed. So I sat outside for about 5 hours waiting for my mum and cried.
How old were you?
Oh gosh, I must have been, I don't know, when can you start working? It was as soon as I could start working. I think I was like 15.
Yeah,
14.
16.
It said you were outside just to sit there.
Yeah, and I was like, this is rubbish because I was wearing the wrong shoes. But the nice lady in the hotel next door was like, "Come in, love, we'll make you a cup of tea. You can have a room.
Oh.
I'll give you a room till your mum gets here." I didn't understand at the time. I was too young to understand.
What's that?
I know, so ever since then, that kind of set the bar as, I do not want to work a job like this.
No.
I want to make music my entire life because I love it so much, and this is what I enjoy doing. So, you know, that kind of set the bar for me to be like, right, I'm going to go out there, and it must have been around the same age. I was like, I'm going to go do cover gigs and get myself, you know, working in a different way. So I've been doing this since I was very young as well, and getting out there, monetizing off it as much as I possibly can, and then putting that back into my music. Patreon has been absolutely amazing for that. I mean, what a great platform, you know, to allow musicians to kind of do this as a job and allow the fans to give back and support. And it's really cool. It's a really cool, like, it gets me thinking creatively about what sort of content I can put out there.
Exactly.
So like, you know, it keeps my brain going as well. Like,
it's nice to have complete ownership as well. Like, you're not being managed. It's literally what you want to put out.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really, really cool. It's and it allows you to kind of connect with the fans directly, and then they feel like they're really a part of the journey. You know, like, I wouldn't have been able to record this single if it wasn't for the Patreon you know, support. And then it's cool because I can say, oh, well, here's my demo, and I'll put the demo that I did at home on the Patreon and the journey to where it's going to be. So it's cool that people can kind of follow that journey as well and be a part of it and know that they're like directly contributing to it. So that's, yeah, Patreon's been absolutely excellent, really, really excellent for that. And I think kind of getting my reels out there as well. That's been really fun, and it's allowed me to kind of collab with some people. Got some more collabs coming up and things like that. So, I mean, social media is such a great platform for musicians these days. If you know, you monetize on that, it's amazing to have that, rather than when I first started doing this, it was very much word of mouth and you know, going to the pubs and handing in your CD. Yeah. I remember going round Stockton Heath, a little village near where I live, and going in with my CD and being like, "Can I have a gig, please?
Aw.
Please give me a gig. I don't want to work in McDonald's. It's rubbish." So yeah, it's really cool that we've got this now. We can connect with other musicians and connect with the fans and the venues and things like that. It's great. It's bloody great, and do things like this and connect with you guys. Like
Yeah,
for
exactly.
a little computer and a microphone. It's magic.
I know, who'd have thought like 20 years ago this would even be a
Yeah,
thing?
right.
I say that, I would have been 3. I was not thinking about this.
I mean, like through lockdown, I think a lot of this stuff, got pushed, like the live streaming and things like that. A lot of people were
Yeah,
doing.
some of them were amazing as well. I remember watching some of the new wave of classic rock ones that they were putting out.
Yeah.
And yeah, really cool stuff.
Really, really cool. And I think then that kind of made whoever makes the technology to do the live stream stuff, they had to make it even better. So there's some great technology now for live stream, and it's a nightmare to juggle it all. But when you can get the balance right between it, it's excellent. I still do quite a few of my live stream Sundays when I'm not gigging, and I'll be definitely doing a live stream Sunday over December, because obviously it's going to be cold and dreary.
Yeah.
Not everyone's going to want to go out, so I think it's cool to be able to sit in your own home and go to a gig. So I'll definitely be doing more live streaming in December, which is fun. I do love doing it.
And you've obviously worked with quite a few different kind of people in the industry at the minute. Have you got any crazy stories that come to mind?
Oh, my days. Yeah. You know what? There's this one story, and I tell people, and they're like, it feels like, it sounds like I'm making it up. It's that ridiculous. It's honestly so ridiculous. So, obviously, I was on tour in America with a band, and we were on the tour bus, and I went to bed, and everyone else was up having a drink. And I was sleepy, so I go into my bunk, and I'm like, I can smell burning. I'm like, something's wrong. Am I having a stroke? What's happening? And then I text everyone. I'm like, guys, it smells like burning here. Is like, can you smell it? And they were like, no, we can't smell anything. Go back to sleep. Everything is fine. And then I'm like, nah, something smells like chemicals and burning. Like something isn't right. That isn't just me. But they're like, no, Kim, go to sleep. Everything's fine. It's just in your head. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just go to sleep, which I'm sure the chemicals in the air were making me nod off anyway. So the next thing I know, I'm woken up to someone grabbing me by the collar, pulling me out my bunk, screaming, get out the bus, it's on fire. I'm like, I told you. And
I told you.
And everyone's like, get out, quick, it's on fire. And the whole thing is just smoke, like thick smoke.
Oh, God.
in the tour bus, and I'm half asleep, probably half dead from these chemicals that are in the air. God knows. Everything's thick in smoke. I get pulled out my bunk. I'm on the floor. I got no shoes on. I'm in my pajamas. So we all run out of the bus, and it's literally, we are in the middle of absolutely nowhere. It's like thick forest to the right side of us, and the roads in America, they're huge. So we're on the side in this old tour bus with like massive trucks going past. There's nothing around. None of us have got signal on our phones, and I'm like, this is horrific. I'm probably half dead from these fumes. The bus is on fire. Like the engine was on fire or something. And I look down on the floor, and I've got no shoes on. And the floor is a carpet of friggin', I don't know if I can swear, flipping friggin' spiders.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, why? Why is this a thing? Why is the spiders everywhere? Why? It's on fire. I'm dying. And the spiders, honestly, I don't know if it was like a breeding ground for them, but this floor, there's hundreds of thousands of friggin' spiders everywhere. all crawling over my feet and stuff. These horrible spangly little things everywhere. It was horrible. And it's like, we can't go back on the bus because that's on fire. But I'm out here. I can't get a pair of shoes or a coat or anything. And there's spiders everywhere. It was like being stuck between a rock and a hard place. Honestly, it was horrific. So I always tell people that, and they're like, that's not real. I'm like, no, that's real. That is hell on earth. That night was. But it makes for a funny story now, and I definitely can say that I completely overreacted and screamed the road down and freaked out.
I think you're right. I think I'd back you all the way. I'd rather be on the bus.
I actually went back and stood in the front of the bus with my head out of the window just so my feet weren't on the ground. And it was like, I'd rather burn than be covered in spiders. But like, oh my God, I don't think I've ever screamed so much in my life. It was horrific. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's a thing in America where all the spiders just come out to play in the middle of the night on the side of the road. And we could hear snakes in the forest and everything. You know, you can hear like all weird noises, and I was like, "This is horrific. This is the worst thing." So that's my little weird industry. I guess it's an industry story. I was on tour, but yeah, it was horrific. It was absolutely horrific.
How did it end? Did you like get to safety, or did you just have to walk all the way back? Or
I mean, America's so big and the roads are so big, and we didn't have any signal, so like. I think someone ended up getting in touch with like a road company, and they came and helped us in the end and towed us away to safety. But we were there for a good couple of hours, you know, with this friggin' bus burning with all smoke coming out of it. And then I was freaking out, like, do we stand in front of the bus? Because if something hits the bus, then it'll hit us. Or do we stand behind the bus? Because then if someone steers off to the side of the road, they're not going to see us. And the bus is on fire at the back. So what do we do? Where do we stand? What's going on? There's spiders everywhere. Like, it was mad. It was absolutely madness. But no, we were safe in the end. I thought I was going to die that night. I really did. I said to everyone, we are going to die. This is the end. I definitely had a bit of a panic attack there. I was like, I hate you all. We're going to die. This is it. I'm done for. But no, we survived it, which was nice. And now I've got a weird story to tell. So there we go. There we go.
For the story, but it's really not. No, not in a million. I don't know what I would have done.
Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible. Like, I was the only girl there as well. And like all the guys are like, oh, it's fine, it's just spiders. I'm like, are you having a laugh? Are you having a laugh? The bus is on fire, and the spiders are like, how isn't everyone being so calm right now? And they're like, oh, it happens all the time. I'm like, oh, does it really? Does it really? Because yeah, it was bizarre. It was very bizarre. So that was fun.
Okay, so to finish off the podcast, we want to play a game with you, and this is the first time we're doing it, so you are our little guinea pig for this.
Excellent.
We're going to play Truth or Dare.
Oh, my days.
We're going to reveal to you what the options are for both Truth and Dare, because I personally think that you'd be brave enough to do them both.
Okay.
So
all right.
reveal them both. If you want to do one, that's fine. If you want to do them both, that's cool.
Okay.
So, for Truth, we want you to tell us the most embarrassing story you've had, either on stage or off stage, behind the scenes, in the studio, but it's got to be something really juicy, okay?
Oh.
And then for the Dare, in fact, no, wait, we'll do one. Truth. Do you want to do the Truth, or do you want to hear the Dare?
I want to hear the Dare.
Okay. So how do you feel about going to your Instagram story and doing a video right now, and to say to your listeners something like, okay, guys, something you might not know about me is that part of my vocal warm-up before I go on stage, I like to practice some bird calls to, you know, do my full range, and I want you to be deadly serious to you viewers, and then proceed to do some examples of bird calling.
Okay, I think I'm gonna do that because that's hilarious. That's amazing. I've got no makeup on right now, and I'm in my pajamas, but I feel like this is the kind of thing that I'd do in my story anyway. So, okay, right. I'm going to do it now.
Oh,
And
this is
and the
amazing.
embarrassing story is too. I don't think I can tell it on air anyway. It's too juicy. So I'm gonna do this one. Okay.
Okay, no.
Oh my gosh. If anyone like if I've got any people on here that fancied me, they're not gonna fancy me anymore. Absolutely messed that one. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
we're gonna be quiet and we'll let you do your thing.
Okay. Hey guys. So I just thought I'd go through my vocal warm-ups with you all. This is really important to do, you know, before you're doing a performance or you're doing recording. So I'm just gonna show you an example of what I do when I'm sorry, I've got chocolate around my mouth or something before I warm up. Okay. Okay. How was that?
That was amazing.
I'm sat here with my mouth trying not to scream.
It is on my story, so there, it's done. I might look at it later and be like, I'm gonna have to delete that. That's horrific.
Oh, that was brilliant. Oh, thank you so much for doing that. That's amazing.
That was. I feel like I'd probably put something like that up anyway. To be fair, so.
It's been so much fun having you on the show. Thank you so much for being our first guest star. We hope you've enjoyed it.
Oh no, proper have. It's been absolutely lovely talking to you. Thank you for having me on and getting in touch. It's been ace. It's been ace.
Nice.
And letting me ramble about spiders and you know do my bird calls.
What
No.
else did we do?
Oh, exactly.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Hope you have a brilliant rest of your day. Next time on the Overtone Podcast, I think it's just going to be me, Max, and Joe. Talking about the latest news and all that sort of stuff. So tune in a couple of weeks to hear that. Thank you again, Kim Jennett. And yeah, follow her on social media, Instagram, Twitter, look at Revival Black, see what tours they've got coming up, follow her Patreon, all of that. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening to the Overtone Podcast. Join us next time. Have a good day.